Okay, and another mistake to show you. I said I'd show you all the mistakes. Completely my fault this time. Do you remember that the marquee sticker I showed you there? Yeah, it's too big. Why it's too big? For some reason in my head I thought that was 20 centimetres. It's actually about 12. So unfortunately, as you can tell, it's massively too big. So going to have to order another one of these. The good news is that this was the cheaper sticker. I believe this was about £7 UK, which is what, about $12, something like that. So that's not a problem. Just order a smaller one. I'm so pleased with the quality actually. I'm more than happy to order another one. And then this itself, well, possibly we move the camera. It does give me the option. I might be able to use it maybe down there or maybe on the bottom panel. There's no reason really why that I can't, you know, even if I just get, well, we'll see anyway. Might be able to use it down the bottom panel, or even I suppose at a push it could go across the speaker panel. Actually, that would look quite good actually. Thinking about that, that would go on the back of the, yeah, that might work. So going to have to order another one of those in, but that's fine because I haven't actually got the plexiglass ordered yet. Make sure I don't make a mistake on that because that's a little bit more expensive. But anyway, going to sort of crack on now and just sort of see how we get on. See if we can hold, you know, face up one of these sort of vinyls to the side of the machine. Just drawn a rough outline on the back of the vinyl here. So all I need to do is just cut it out slightly oversized, and then we can trim it when it's fixed to the cabinet itself. Just go around with a very sharp blade. Right, so I'm just going to do that now, and I'll speed it up a little bit. Right, that's it. Now hopefully, as long as this vinyl works like the old vinyl that I used to work with, what will happen is now is the water will slowly evaporate out from under the vinyl. Now I've put a lot on there to make sure that I got it on completely smooth. It's going to take quite a while actually. Something this size is going to probably take well, 24 hours. I mean, you can speed it up with a hairdryer. But it's always best just to let it sort of naturally kind of dry out. But it is going to take a little while. I will continue just to sort of rub it, but as you can tell there, you get a few little bits. That's where the aperture is for the, but you get like a few little bits like that. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. So what you need to do is you just need to go round either with your finger or a cloth, and you need just to make sure that you get all of these air bubbles, which are actually water, you get them out, and then finally you can do a little pinprick. But pretty much generally you get it on, you know, fairly smooth. When it worked in the past, it's been, oh dear me, it's been about 32 years since I've actually mounted a vinyl, but oh well. If that fails, we can always take it off and put it on with contact adhesive. That's a bit more exciting. So there you go. That's it. That'd be one side done. So I'll turn that round and I'll trim that with a knife. But for now, I just need to smooth it all off, and then the key is to walk away and leave it until the adhesive starts to catch when the water evaporates. Now I'm sure there's other ways of doing it, and I'm sure I'm bound to get some comments saying no, what you should do is, you know, heat it up with a hairdryer and you should prick. I know all that, yeah, and hopefully this will work. If it doesn't work, then you are correct, but this is the way we used to do them years ago. and I'm pretty sure it will actually work. Once that adhesive connects, you really won't get it off. So okay, that'll be it. I'm going to stop this bit of recording here. Not quite sure. I don't know how long I've recorded for actually. Been getting quite carried away today with the door and everything. So if I've got a bit more time, then I'll show you a bit more in this video. If not, I'll put it on the next one. Okay, catch you all later. If you remember on the last video, I put on this big vinyl sticker here onto the side of the cabinet, and as you remember, we sort of floated that on wet, and we wiped it out. Well, it's been 24 hours now. I know, I know it's been probably a week for you guys, but it's been 24 hours, and this is pretty much dried out now. It probably needs another sort of 12 hours or so. But if you look down along the sticker here, I'll try and get it on camera. Can you sort of see how that now the water has evaporated out of the adhesive? It's kind of really sort of drawn it onto the wood. As you can see, it's even brought the texture through of the MDF. It's not easy to sort of see on camera, but it's completely smooth. So what I need to do now is to turn this cabinet over and then just take a straight edge and very carefully trim round the edge of the vinyl, and that's it. But I mean, you know, I think it looks fantastic, to be honest. It just really does. Even without being trimmed, it's starting to show really looking sort of nice. So that's my next job, is to haul this great heavy lump of wood over and just give it a little trim round. Well, there you go. What do you think of that? That's one side now that's trimmed, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. So it looks so good in my opinion. It's gone on there really nice actually. Absolutely fantastic. Still got the handle to put on the bottom there, but oh man, that really does look the business, I reckon. The logo and everything there. So very pleased with that. Obviously, still got the T-moulding to go, which will finish the whole thing off even more so. But just with that piece of vinyl on there and that all trimmed up, very pleased with that. I think that looks fantastic. Really sets it off. Very pleased with that. So I better stop my gums flapping and get my hands moving, because I've got quite a bit more of this vinyl to put on, so I better crack on with it. Okay, so this is the second side, and this has actually been left for 48 hours as opposed to 24. Not just by chance really, just I haven't had a chance to sort of trim it back. And then once again, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's really drawn down onto the sort of laminated MDF. Got a couple of little bits of grit, I suppose, or dust, you know, underneath it. But yeah, all in all, once again, really very pleased. So I just need to go round and trim that with a knife. The magnetic door catches have turned up, so there's going to be one on the back there for the door, and also one on the control panel just to hold that. I think they probably only need one. But anyway, today I'm just going to get on and go around with a blade. I'll speed it all up because it's a bit boring, and Ignore the cat. Yeah, I know. Just going to trim that round, and then that'll be done then. Right, what's next? Well, that's the speaker panel done. The next thing is the control panel graphic. Now this is a lot more involved because obviously I've got to take out all of these buttons and disconnect the wiring. Not too worried about the wiring, to be honest. I've sort of struggled a bit with the configuring the controls in Hyperspin. You seem to go through it and you sort of press the appropriate buttons. Sometimes it accepts it, sometimes it crashes. Sometimes when you go back to a game, it's sort of lost the configuration for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else watching this. I know a few guys, that are building their own units. Have you found a different kind of mapping program that's better than the one that's in Hyperspin? I'm sticking with it, but it's kind of a little bit sort of slow, to be honest. So yeah, that's my next job. Got to stick this down and then cut all around it and everything, and that's going to take quite a bit of time. So probably won't show you all of that. Just give you a couple of little sort of glimpses. A couple of things that I've ordered. So just a little cheap USB extender, just to sort of stick that inside somewhere. Just gives me 4 extra USB ports, which is good. I still need to configure a USB port somewhere on the outside so that if I connect a keyboard and a mouse, yeah, so I haven't got to keep the back door open or anything. That's something else I've got to look into. You can buy those little extenders, but you have to be careful because some of them are just basically for charging sockets like you'd put in a car, and some of them aren't data kind of transfer. Right, also, I've sent off for the perspex for the screen sort of bezel cover and also the marquee cover. Now, once again, if you're building one of these in the UK, there just isn't sort of places that seem to sell acrylic over the counter. I wanted to sort of really sort of go somewhere and actually see the acrylic before I bought it to make sure that it was up to the standard that I want. But I found one place that do splashback. Seems to be that it's quite popular at the moment. People put on splashbacks on their kitchen work surfaces. They just do like a coloured perspex sort of splashback. And I found one place that was willing to supply me with some clear acrylic. But as I need sort of 2 sections. I need a small 12cm sort of bit there, and I think it's a 50 by 40. And we started to sort of talk about a price via email, and then they charge like £12 for a cutting service, which is absolutely ridiculous because they're having to cut the thing anyway. But then to do an extra cut, they wanted like 12 quid plus VAT, I think, as well. So that was about 15 quid just to do, so that was coming up to about £40 in the end, and I thought, well, that's just getting ridiculous. So anyway, sent off some quotes online. Quotes came in sort of between 17 and about £26, I think. So in the end, I went for one that was £20. So that's been ordered, 2 pieces. So taking a bit of a chance because I'm hoping it's supposed to be high grade 5mm plexiglass acrylic. It's the sort of stuff that you would use, I suppose, sort of greenhouses and things like that. So hoping it's going to be perfectly clear. That's been ordered, so we've got to wait for that to come in. Also ordered the T-moulding, which is a little plastic strip that goes in here. As you can see on this carcass, it's been already pre-cut with, I believe that's a 3mm sort of routed sort of groove, if you like. Yeah, it's one of those things, you need a router to do this, to be honest. I mean, you could try and do it with a multi-tool. I've heard it can be quite dangerous with the little discs spinning off. And this is probably one of, with everything pre-drilled here for the buttons. That was another reason why I bought a kind of carcass kit, because that has already been sort of professionally done, much better than I can do. So the T-moulding has been ordered. I've gone for sort of a bit of bling, I've gone for a chrome effect. You can get it all different colours. Probably black might have been a bit more subtle, but I thought, yeah, what the hell, let's go for some sort of bling, So that's ordered. That's something I'll probably put that on right at the very end, because whilst I'm moving this thing about, I don't want to sort of scratch or damage it. So right, okay. So I think I'll stop waffling. That brings you up to date with what I've ordered. And I think we'll get on and dismantle this and get this stuck down, and I'll have to leave it for 24 hours. So that'll probably be a good time to end the video. Try and end this one a little bit shorter than the normal 20 minutes. Just like to say thank you all for the comments. Fantastic. Thanks for all of the input and all the encouragement and everything. And getting there now, aren't we? I mean, this is slowly sort of coming to an end. This is this is going to end, okay? This isn't going to go on forever. This is going to end. Don't know what I'm going to do after this one, but it's going to end. Anyway, right, enough waffling. I'm going to get on and get some work done. I've got the vinyl graphic there cut down. Yeah, going to be doing the same technique as I've done on the sides. Going to put it on wet, so you can move it around a little bit, get it in position. Mainly, as long as I've got the dark on the light side there, without, that doesn't need to be cut into. Obviously, all this is going to be cut into. A bit of a shame, really, isn't it? Because, you've got all of the characters there, haven't you? So, bit of a shame to sort of have to cut into this. But anyway, that's going to go on now. So it's quite a bit of work. But I think, once this is actually on, I think I'll be quite pleased that I did go to the extra trouble of putting a graphic on now. I think it will just sort of help, sort of set the machine off a little bit. Right, I'm going to crack on with that now. That's it. That's that done. So, as I mentioned before, by putting it on wet, you do get sort of 2 or 3 attempts really to get it into position. And if you do get it wrong on the first one, you can peel it completely off, and you can sort of, wash it down and basically move it around. If you try and put it on dry, you've got to be very, very accurate first time. There's a disadvantage, of course, is I'm going to have to leave this now for sort of 24 hours, say. So you've got to be very patient with it. But the finished effect and the way it goes on is, in my opinion, is far worth the wait. Your enemy, of course, is dust. Any dust that you get under the vinyl will sort of show. It's very difficult to get it all out. But once again, by putting it on wet with the water, that does sort of help you sort of kind of squeegee the water out, if you like, and that takes a lot of the dust with it. But you've got to be patient. So that's about as far as I can go now. I've got to now leave that for 24 hours before I can cut out all the circles and carefully put the joysticks back and everything. So it's probably a good time to end the video. And I hope you enjoyed that, putting on the graphics, and I hope that helps you if you're watching this in the future. And obviously you're doing your own arcade machine, you're a little bit worried about putting on the vinyl graphics. I hope by showing you how to do it sort of wet, that gives you a little bit more confidence, because it is quite a difficult job. Right, so that's it for this video. I'll put this one up to show you, how far I've got on. There might be a little bit delay on the next video, because obviously now I've got to wait for all of the extra bits like the perspex, the other transfer or the other vinyl sort of graphic to come through, and in time and everything else. So forgive me if I don't get one up next week. I'll try. But depending how the time works out, it might be a couple of weeks before I get another video up, so just bear with me. But just for now, as always, thanks for sticking with it. Cheers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye bye now.